right, and welcome back to Morning Express. It's now 8 o'clock, and we want to cross over to Robin Toskin, who is currently at Salonika Villa in Valley Arcade, and today he's talking martial arts. So, Robin Toskin, good to see you, and I see you're dressed. I'm not sure what belt you adorn. I know black belt is meant to be the best. I don't know what belt you are. Is there one for one who is just, you know, doing a show and not particularly into martial arts?
Of course, like you can see, it's a black belt, and you know, I'm a sports person, and you must be sure that you can be sure that I've gone through almost all these processes to get to the level that I am. But as you say, we are live from Valley Arcade, Mudangari Road, off actually Mudangari Road. That is, we call it Salonika Villas, where we are going to talk about martial arts. One of the sport that is so close to my heart because of the things that we know about martial arts, Mike.
And, well, just to get an idea, maybe you can go ahead and let us know what you have in store for us in terms of martial arts. You're lucky I'm not there. Otherwise, as usual, I'd have challenged you to a combat live on, you know, KT News. But then again...
of course, I'll strike you from afar.
All right, go right ahead, Robin.
Yes, thank you very much, Mike. Like we said, we are live from Valley Arcade, Mudangari Road. That's off Mudangari Road. That is a place called Salonika Apartments, where a lot of sport takes place here. There's the gym work here, but of course, again, the martial arts. We'll be talking to some of those martial artists. And remember, I've just told you, it's a sport that is so close to my heart because, like Gichin Funakoshi, one of karate, once said that martial arts and karate, for that matter, actually helps you to purge yourself of the evil thoughts so that you become humble inwardly and also gentle outwardly. And today we are talking about martial arts. And remember, martial arts has several of those games. They combine several things. You have judo, you have karate, you have got kickboxing, you've got even taekwondo, all rolled into one. And as you can see right behind me, they are now trying to warm up so that we can get into the program. These are some of the Kenyans that you know, they have immersed themselves into the sport itself. And it takes a lot of, you know, warming up. You can't just get into a sport without really warming up. There are benefits to it.
When you breathe out, come back to the front there, then straighten your right leg, reach forward with your right hand, reach forward.
Well, quite interesting, because as a martial art, you've got to be physically fit. Your body has to be prepared to take all the rigors of the sport. I don't know how many of you can do that. Make sure that you stretch every muscle of your body.
Step your left leg forward and bring both hands up. Lean up. Breathe in there.
That's just but the warm-up.
Then reach forward with your left hand.
All those muscles
when you breathe out,
have to be straight. They have to warm up.
Look at your right hand. Keep breathing there.
Because if you don't warm up,
And breathe out.
then you risk
One, and breathe out.
injuring your body.
So from there, step on your right side with your right leg. Come to keep in front there.
Interesting. Look at that.
Go down. Breathe down. Go at
You've got to stretch it.
breathe in. Your back straight. So breathe in there. When you breathe out, right hand goes.
You have to immerse yourself into it. Concentrate. Make sure that you get all the instructions from the instructor.
Down. Right hand goes up. Keep breathing there. Good. Keep breathing there. Breathe in. When you breathe out, bring both hands down. Straighten your knees. Look back. Good. Stay there. Keep breathing there.
Well, how many of you can do that? Straighten your knees. Straighten those muscles. Make sure that they are all warmed up because it's a rigorous thing. Martial arts is not for the unphysically fit. You've got to be very physically fit in order to do all that. And like you can see, it looks simple.
So bring the left hand to the right Big toe. Bring your right hand up. Reach up there. Breathe in.
Looks simple.
Breathe out.
But how many of us, after that Nyamachoma over the weekend,
Bring your hand to your
2 or 3 drinks afterwards, and then on a Monday like this one, chilly Monday,
and look at your right elbow.
how does your body react to that?
Stay there, breathing. 1, 2, and 3. Take to the other side. Look at your left elbow.
Now look at that body, the way it's stretching.
2, 3. Slowly come back down and reach your hands in front of you there. Breathe in there. When you breathe out, in that position, bring your right hand to the right shoulder blade. Then bring your left hand to your elbow. Push the elbow up and back. Keep breathing there. Breathing is good. Keep breathing there. Good. Breathe in slowly. Release the pulse. Then go to the
Well,
other side. Left hand goes
I
to
hope
the
you're
shoulder blade.
imbibing all that.
Go to the right. Left.
Look at that. That flexibility right there.
Stay in the same position.
I must confess that not quite many of us can do that.
Bring your feet together.
Try touching your back just above your shoulder and see how it is. Well, that was just but the stretching part of it, the warming up part of it. And I can see the instructor himself, Hilary Wahanda, is coming slowly into the picture now. Yeah, have you warmed up?
Yeah, we warmed up, we stretched,
Yeah.
so now we are set to go. Yes.
Set to go as in you want to take me on?
Yeah, we want, we want to start other things among taking you on.
Yes.
Yes.
But I haven't warmed up. Yeah, you were warming up. You didn't invite me into the warming up.
You are welcome. You can also warm up. That was a stretch, so now we are warming up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, then let me take it up.
Okay.
It's a bit of a challenge, but then I'm sure I'll get the rhythm. But then let's talk to Hilary Wahanda just a little bit so that, yeah, Hilary.
Yes. Good
talk
morning,
to
viewers.
us about yeah.
Yes, good morning, viewers. Thank you for having us, KTN. We are here today to showcase martial arts in Kenya in general. I don't know what questions Toskin asked for me, but
There are quite a number of questions. Of course, you've got to be very ready. Yes. What is this martial arts?
Well, martial arts is a terminology that basically means unarmed self-defense, defending yourself without any weapons. Yes.
Defending yourself without any weapons. Remember, the whole world, people now are thinking about, going tech, using weapons to fight. We've just seen what has just happened in the US where there's been shooting and all that. But then in martial arts, much as it sounds like it's violent, but then it's about using an armed combat, using their
Two.
So I come from a Tanzania background, which basically means martial arts.
But I can break down all arts for you if you want. Yes.
Let's start by...
Right, and we do apologize for that slight technical hitch. And as that is sorted out, we're going to look at some of the stories making headlines in the sports world. Now, Innocent Wafula ensured that Gor Mahia's unbeaten run in the league continued as his goal leveled match in a 3-all draw against Sofapaka in the Kenya Premier League match played at the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos. In an earlier encounter, Nakumatt grabbed a 2-1 win over Tusker FC, while Thika AFC Leopards secured a 2-0 win over Thika United.
Piga moja refu huko. Anaondoa kule. Ambayo mweza kucheza michuano michache zaidi.
Kama defense itakuwa imesimama.
Anaingia kuelekea Faswani. anapiga fata. Toka nje. Bado.
We will now want to go back to Robin Toskin, who is currently at Salonika Villa and talking matters martial arts. Robin, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike. It's now raining here at Valley Arcade. We are along Mudhangari Road at Salonika Villas, where we are talking to the martial artists here. And just before we had that outage in sound, we were talking to Hilary Waanda, who is one of the gym instructors, one of the instructors in martial arts. And he was talking to us about quite a number of those disciplines that make up the martial arts, and he was talking about karate. You were saying something about karate.
Yeah, I said before, there are very many styles of martial arts. There are, I think, globally over 60. But there are 4 major ones. Of course, the oldest one being karate. So I was breaking down karate. Ka means bear, ra means limbs, and te means mind. Yeah. So karate is a terminology that brings 3 words together to mean using your bare limbs and mind to protect yourself. Now, if we go to taekwondo, tai means to break, to hit or break with the hand. Then kwon means to hit or break with the leg. Then do means way. So taekwondo basically means the way of kicking and punching. Yeah, now if you go to kickboxing, it just literally means that, kicking and boxing. Now, we have Tongil Mudo, which is the background martial art that I come from. Now, Tongil Mudo tries to unify all these styles of martial arts. It has karate, taekwondo, judo, and jiu-jitsu techniques. Again, judo means the soft way. Yes.
When he talks about breaking using the limbs and all that, it looks like, or even sounds like, it's a very violent sport. Is it so? Is martial arts that violent?
You know, martial arts, from its origin, it was making your limbs to become a weapon. So for your limbs to become a weapon, you have to harden them. And when you harden them, they can be able to break things. Yes, but for a positive purpose, not just for any purpose or for fun. Yes.
He says that you've got to harden your body so as that body to become, a weapon in itself, because you are using your legs, you are using your arms, you're even using your head. Can you even head an enemy for that matter?
Yeah, your head can be used as a weapon, but what you mostly use in the head is the brain. Yes.
Okay, is the brain. And like you put it, and having read most of what goes on in the martial arts, and in karate, for instance, Gichin Funakoshi once said that karate helps you to purge yourself of the evil thoughts so that you can always learn and understand what you are taught by your instructors.
Yeah, you know, one thing people don't realize, unless you're deeply involved in, is martial arts gives you a sense of balance of the mind and a sense of balance of the body. So you normally see this sign mostly. The palm basically...
What you do? What that's a sign?
This sign mostly.
Yes. When you do that, what does it mean?
So basically, this signifies the mind and this signifies the body. So when I do this, it means respect, of course, and it means I think before I act. Yes.
That is to mean that, therefore, if you are confronted by whoever, you just don't go out there striking.
Yeah, you have to think before you act, because whatever we do from our desires mainly doesn't turn out right. But whatever we do out of our mind and mindset and thoughts usually turns out right. If you think something out before you implement it, then you're on the right path. Yes.
One of the foremost students of karate, a fellow called Anto Itoshi, once said that, look, if your mind is evil, if you are thinking about evil things, then it stops you as a human being from functioning to become, human in that matter. And therefore, in a sport like this one, it helps you really understand yourself, bring that sense of balance, the one Hilary Waanda is telling us here, that you begin to understand yourself and then appreciate other human beings, because we all know that we are not of equal ability, is it so?
Yes, we are not of equal ability. Even in martial arts, you find that people are better in some aspects than the others. And martial arts is also wide because we have the basics. Of course, we have the physical fitness part. We have the weapons. We have the kicks. We have the punches. And we have very many things. Yes.
What are they doing now?
Right now, we are into basics. Basics basically means kicking and punching. Yes.
Let's just have a listener to what is happening. Can you join the group?
3, 4, 5.
Those are the basics. Hilary Wahanda talks about the basics in martial arts.
2,
You've got to be that physically fit.
3,
Make sure you throw that limb of yours. Remember, he talked about the balance between the mind and the body, the physical aspect of it.
1, 2, 3,
Well, look at the reach. Look at that reach because the limb is really going high up there.
1, 2, 3,
Energy sapping too.
4, 5.
Look at that concentration in their eyes.
Okay. First, side kick.
The instructions.
2,
Look at that.
3,
You've got to move
4,
almost 360 degrees in order for you to get
10.
at your target.
1, 2,
Well, Hilary, talking about all this, we've just seen, just move closer here, that we're seeing the way they're trying to reach high up there. Is that where the target is always?
You see, we normally say aim for the sky. So basically when we train to kick, we're working on our flexibility. A kick can be submitted anywhere on the body, from the leg, under the knee, all the way to the head. So mostly we are used to kicking, between the stomach and the head level.
Give me the basics. Somebody wants to start, this game. How do I get into this sport?
How do you get where to train or on what basis?
Where to train, where to get a good instructor like Hilary for that.
Okay, thank you, Toskin, for the recommendation. But we mainly train at Salonika Villas on Mutangari Road in Valley Arcade. We are normally here on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings. And on Saturday, we have a program that runs from 2 to 4. Yeah, so anyone is welcome to join us here. Yes.
What does it take to begin to get into this program?
It just takes the will and the desire. Yes.
Look, he's talking about the will and the desire. I don't know how many Kenyans always have that will and desire to get into a sport like this one. Initially, he said it may sound, a bit violent and all that, but then these are gentle people. You talked about that.
Yeah, there is no violence in martial arts. Martial arts, the first purpose of training martial arts is to attain self-discipline. So with self-discipline, you can never find violence in that environment. Yeah, and then there are many other advantages like physical fitness, self-control, health, of course, and self-defense. Yes.
Yeah, in terms of the development of the sport itself in Kenya here, what are the strides that we've made so far since it was introduced? I think in the early 60s and 70s when martial arts, and especially Kung Fu and Karate, was introduced through those movies and films that we saw in the 70s through to the 80s. How far have we come as a country?
Well, we've come a long way because personally I started training in the 90s. But I believe martial arts started actively in Kenya in the early 70s. And the first martial art was karate. So karate was here for a while, and then taekwondo joined us. And then all these other martial arts came in the late 70s and early 80s. So martial arts has come a long way in as far as training, equipment, and branding is concerned. Because way back, I remember we used to compete without protective devices like headgears and gloves. They were very difficult to come by. We also didn't have these tatami mats you're seeing here. We also didn't have them. But we are grateful to some of our partners like the Ministry of Sports, Culture and the Arts, because they've really supported in trying to equip sports generally. Yes.
Yeah. Now, in terms of that development that you say, we've just seen that karate has been admitted into the Olympic competitions right from 2020 in Japan. Yeah. But then we've had judo, we've had, I think judo and taekwondo being contested at that level. Where do you think we are as a country? Are we capable of qualifying for the Olympics 2022? 20?
You know, the problem we have with the sports in Kenya is that when you say the word sports, the only two things that trickles in people's mind. It's either football or athletics.
Or even rugby.
Rugby has come a long way to get the position where they are. But mostly when you talk sports, people switch to athletics and football, which is very wrong. We should all come as sportsmen and support every other sports. Yes. So when we support sports in general, then sports will have a strong standing point of focusing and at least trying to move in other places. Yes.
You may have heard in 2016, that was August 2016, the Olympic Committee, that is the International Olympic Committee, actually agreed to admit karate into the Olympic movement. And starting from 2020 in Tokyo, Japan, we'll have karate. And hopefully some of the Kenyans who have taken up the sport, like we see the youngsters behind us, will be able to represent this country. But then let's just move on. And you can see from the group that we have at least one lady who we should be talking to now. And let's listen to her. What are her aspirations and how did she get into this sport? Karibu sana. Yeah. What's your name?
I'm Jacqueline.
Okay, come forward and then talk to the country. I can see you are really throwing those punches and I'm even fearful. What's your name?
I'm Jacqueline.
Yeah, how did you get into this sport?
I just saw it on TV, then I started joining.
Hopefully, I think it was KTN that she saw this kind of sport, and now she is here, a part and parcel of the Tong Ilmudu and also the martial arts group. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Yeah, so what do you hope to achieve by training with them?
Mind discipline, physical fitness, and I want a black belt.
You want a black belt. Where do you get it? Oh, yeah, I can see you have, she has a green belt. I don't know what green belt means.
There are levels according to how you train. Now I'm a green belt. So that's where I've reached right now.
Yeah, she wants a black belt, and as you can see, I think Robin Toskin is in black belt, but then I'll work hard and then get to go through all the processes. But look, where do you get the time to train and get to this position?
You just create time. You know, if you love something, you have to create time to do it. So you just create time and you learn.
Since you started doing this, so what are the benefits you've gained?
Discipline and confidence.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've talking to one of the martial artists, and we'd like to take a short commercial break. And when we come back, we continue talking to some of the Kenyans now doing this sport, and we believe that by exposing this talent, KTN News and KTN Home as your home for sport will always help to develop the talent in this country. We are taking a short commercial break, and when we come back, we continue with the project, the program. And please don't go away, because we have a lot more in store for you on how to get your career off the ground in martial arts.